Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Neil Haley Show. You can check me out on Twitter at TotalTutor, NeilHaley.com, all the different places you can connect with me in social media. And also, you got to like my page, the Total Tutor Neil Haley, where I provide tips and different things. Maybe I should do a Facebook Live here before the end if the studio will allow me. But I have an exciting guest today, but I first want to welcome the program. This list is so long. WPI Hall of Famer, UNLV running Reb, ESPN analyst, City League Hall of Famer, Coach Karen Hall, and you could have been the WNBA if you were about 10 years younger at that time, right?
Yeah, I really believe so.
Older, you were born 10 years ago.
Well, here's the thing. Probably I could have, but I was ready to trade my shoes, my tennis shoes, for that microphone. Ah. He was calling me.
That's media always calls people.
Yes. Well, I'm excited to be back to the show. I love the studio. And
exactly.
I'm going to toss it over to and welcome the one and the only. We call him Al Levine. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Talking Machine. So we're ecstatic to have you here, your host of Pittsburgh Sports Line. Take a good look, everyone.
Okay.
I'm about branding. Thank you.
You're welcome. Glad to have you on our show this morning.
That's a good thing, for sure.
That social media also?
Oh, he's all over it. So we want to jump right into this because you are so full of so much wealth and knowledge in sports history. So let's talk about Al Levine, the Talking Machine. Tell us about Al and your background in sports and how that all came together.
Well, first I'm a little hesitant because usually I'm asking the questions.
Yes, you are.
You have to get used to being
so
in the hot seat.
To dig in deep like this, usually I'm in Neil's seat on my show.
Yes.
Pittsburgh Sports Line. Tuesday through Saturday night, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock.
Okay.
They rebroadcast our shows, and we have many guests from 5 years old up to a 90-year-old
Nice.
lady was talking Steelers football. And she goes, Al, it was around Christmas time. She goes, could I bring in cookies for you? She'd make the tray of cookies this big for us. Ann was one of the best. She's now passed away.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I have all kinds of guests.
Yeah.
What do you want to know?
Well, how does Al Levine become a talking machine? What goes into that? What happens for that to be put on?
Well, I had a long career in the newspaper in the production department, and guys would go, Al, you started talking at 7 o'clock in the morning. We're leaving at 11 o'clock, and you're still talking. But I never called myself the talking machine then.
Okay.
But they knew I was because you name a subject, I'll talk about
Wow.
it, or I'll try.
Right.
So we would do that in production departments. I negotiate contracts. So I took a buyout from the Post-Gazette, November 7th, 2010.
Okay.
And I had some ideas. I had done some things. I had owned racehorses at the Meadows. And
okay.
I was interested in casinos and racinos. So I started doing a website, Pittsburgh Gaming News. So I thought I was on to something.
Yeah.
So you're trying to get with my buddy who I have on every week, Brandon Lang, the handicapper.
Exactly.
He's not very loved. That celebrity handicapper's not very well loved. I get calls all the time saying, "Why do you have him on?" But he's so fun and entertaining.
Well, Roger Houston at the Meadows. Ties in with why I'm even on TV.
Okay.
I was an owner of horses in the 80s. We had
Where'd you strike oil if you're owners of horses in the 80s?
We claimed horses for $2,500. You could get in as cheap as that, and they raced. So I had a few. My ex-wife and I had horses together. So we had a pretty good record, with wins and losses, and become friends, with how I talk. I was friends with Roger Houston. I'm friends with most of the drivers and trainers out there. So he said, would you like to be a guest on my show?
Okay.
Yeah.
I said, well, I'm a little shy. I'll try. So I was on the whole show for 3.5 hours with him.
Wow.
I had a racehorse of mine that was racing that night, Hancock Creed, and you have to pick winners, like your handicapper friend. Well, Roger Houston's a great handicapper. He's fantastic. So he's picking him, I'm picking him. I said, my horse, he goes, you got to bet, pick your horse. I said, I don't think he has a chance tonight. He's up in class, not really looking that good. So he goes, you have to. He ended up beating me by one win. So what happened, go now like 20 years later. I'm doing a couple different things with marketing. I'm actually working for a monthly newspaper, and I'm selling ads. I meet a guy that started talking to me, and we become friends. He goes, I don't usually talk to Democrats, union guys, and but I'm talking to you. Would you want to do a show out of Bethel Park, because they got public access TV. I said, yeah, I've watched it for years. My kids were on parade days and things like that. He goes,
Were you a fan of my wrestling show? I had that pro wrestling show.
I don't remember it, I'll be honest.
Dave was an intern when that started, Dave Cable.
Wow.
So that goes back to the time where I came in. I forget the guy's name. Dave will be able to tell me. And I was doing a show at PCTV with Aaron Lester. And Aaron basically, Stefan Devereaux, and I was producing and doing, he taught me the business of media. And I never
And that got you started.
But a lot of years later, it took a long time from that story to happen, but that was in those days in pro wrestling. And Dave was an intern there. So and the way here the story how I got on here is I was doing a show at 88.3 WRCT and I said let's go film it. And I had this girl that was filming it and she promised she could edit it. She couldn't edit it. I'm sure nowadays I probably could figure out how to edit it. But
with everything I
put on Craigslist, I'm looking for someone to edit my TV show, and Dave came out, and that's how Dave he
and then
emailed
you two
me back.
reconnected.
No, I don't know if Dave knew or not. He's gonna have to tell me that. But but I
off the air, we'll
But
coordinate.
David did a lot of
Exactly. The story. We got this BPTV connection right here, and why.
And here I want to show another connection. This guy was doing a show, Steel City Sports World, with Smokin' Jim Frazier, who's my co-host, called Steel City Sports World, founded by Luther Dupree.
Okay. Oh, wow.
So he goes, I'm doing a show. I want you to meet Smokin' Jim Frazier. Well, we get along famously. People think I know him for 25 years. I'm his Johnny Carson. He's my Ed McMahon.
Right.
So that's how we do stuff on our show. And this guy was on our show. We come in to see Dave Cable, and we talked about we wanted to do a weekly sports talk show. And he goes, what time, what day? We said, we don't know. What do you have? And we're looking at like a prime time, like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, do a show in the studio.
Yeah.
And we'd have 4 guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the one guy didn't make it.
This is your first show. The first guy
first
didn't
show.
make
We
it.
started October 11th, 2011. We come in, we did it, right around the first week, and then it came up on air.
I was at BPTV before that. Oh my!
Well, I'm a newbie to it. This is
Not
all
really.
new.
No,
We've done.
You're all over. You're all over the place.
So you guys
Well,
never
it looks
crossed
that
paths
way.
there? I mean, you both been at BPTV and never crossed paths.
No.
Hilarious.
I've seen him as Darth Vader,
Right.
early walking in a door.
Okay.
He's huge. I met him today. He's 6'9".
Yeah.
Other days I saw him, he was
wrestler.
6'10".
Yeah.
He had big boots on.
It's raining out today. He kind of shrinks in the rain.
I see that. It affected his hair a little
He
bit
shrinks
too.
and I grow.
understand.
So.
Yeah. Well, you did get taller.
You try surviving 4 hours of sleep last night and being able to handle it. It's interesting.
And how many kids?
5.
And a wife. And a wife.
Yeah.
You let her sleep a little bit.
Okay, so what we got to watch,
No.
because he's an interviewer, so I'm hearing
I'm going to start.
some interview taking.
You're not the two biggest talking people in the world in one room.
I'm going to bring the show back together.
I'm turning.
He's turning it.
I turned it a little. Sorry
So we're
about
going to get
that.
back on there to add him
here's
the
what
talking
happened.
machine. Because you notice he is a talking machine. He's going at it.
Dave Cable.
Do you breathe in between?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But I rarely stop, so I just
Right.
I'll even drink my green tea each day, but that's another subject.
Yeah.
So Dave sort of says, well, when do you want to do it? And we said each week. He goes, well, I don't know. We'll have to see about getting volunteers and all this other stuff. He's worried about it. And I'm just a positive person with everything. And if somebody says an idea, like we brainstorm, like I like how tall you are and how you've grown into the job. Seriously. But I'll say, let's do it.
Right.
I stole it from Nike, but I had it before because, I'm older than that. And we'll just do stuff and people go, amazing. Boy, you've done lots of things in your life. So with Dave, I said, yeah, we'll do it each week. And he goes, I don't know how we'll do it. Dave was a little pessimistic with us. So this guy, Mike, is with us. And he ended up, I fired him from the show. He lasted about a year.
Really?
Yeah, because he was very negative. He liked arguing with me and calling me stupid and different things like that. And I put up with a little because I'm sarcastic. I have to watch my sarcasm.
Yes.
I'm known as a ball buster.
Yes.
Oh, can you say that on air?
You did.
You can say anything on my show, right, Dave?
Wow, I'm glad we clarified that.
Okay, good.
Now that we covered
I'm
that.
going to have to put my coach's hat on in a minute.
Now we start the show. We film the, first show and then he puts it up,
Right.
And we're like, oh, wow, we'll do this. So we've done it every week since.
Fantastic.
We've done it 5 years.
Nice.
That's great.
And we have over 400 shows on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because Smoking Jim and this Mike were doing boxing out in a country club in Penn Hills.
Right.
And this Mike, he said, you know, he had some health problems. So he got away from the ring. Smoking Jim goes, hey, Talking Machine, come on up here. We'll be on, air, and we're filming this. You know, you talk. So he didn't know, but in my family, we had a guy named Kid Doogie that showed up when I was about 6, 7 years old. He was an ex-boxer, retired, living in Galveston, come to the house, shadow boxing and all that. So I've been familiar with boxing. You know, grew up in the 70s with Ali and Frazier and all these boxers when heavyweights were king.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know,
they were
so
real heavyweights.
he didn't know I knew boxing. So I sit down, I'm the color guy. Now, he's the play-by-play, blow-by-blow, so I'm the color. I'm adding different insights. He goes, that's Al Levine, the Talking Machine. And, you know, and he kept putting that out there. After it, he goes, hey, I've been looking for somebody like you for 10 years.
Wow.
Because he got these ringside girls that would be announcers, because he always has these sweeties for Jimmy, I call it. You'll see him with photos with beautiful women. And he just posts them all over the Facebook, and, you know, some have been good, some haven't. Some get tied up with things and whatever. He's the one that told me about the coach here, and I had to have her on.
I appreciate
when I heard
that.
her resume.
It was fun.
We put her on at Sip Sports Bar.
We sure did.
But yeah, so we start this show. We're doing it each week.
Right.
The volunteers love filming our show.
Right.
They come out. We'd have a couple here all the time. So this past year, Dave goes, you know, maybe we could get some food. There's a pizza shop that opened up in Hillcrest Shopping Center, Olive Oil's Pizzeria.
Yeah.
They now provide us with an XL large pizza and a steak hoagie, and they sponsor our show on Tuesday nights. And that way we feed the volunteers. I get to eat a little bit, which is always good. So we expanded into that. We have a sponsor there. And then this Mike, who I got rid of on the show, we had talked about going out in public and doing shows in bars and restaurants. Because Smoking Jim had done shows with Bill Neal and others there.
Sure.
So he goes, you know, you'd be perfect for that. I go, oh, that's a way we can make some money. So this Mike goes out, Kentucky Fried Chicken, right in Bethel Park near level 20. He ordered wings and walked into level 20 and said, hey, we'd like to do a show here. I didn't know anything about it. We did a show there about 6, 8 weeks. And then friends of mine own Sip Sports Bar. And the funny thing, they're not even sports guys. They owned the sports bar. They bought it, fixed it up. So I showed them my shows on their computer, and they go, oh, we didn't know you knew anything except union stuff. I go, I know that. It's just I focus on the task at hand. I go, what do you think of these sports shows? We'll come up here, get paid. They thought we were going to do a commercial, our first show, and get paid for that. And I said, no, we're doing an hour weekly show every Monday night at your place. So they go, what do you do? And I said, we'll get guests. And we started bringing guests in. And we did it for 87 weeks till they sold the place. My friend sold Sip Sports Bar, which was legendary because of the Cipriani family that owned the bar.
Well, I have to say we're about to take a break.
Yeah, because
We're
he's a
gonna get
talking
that-
I just warmed up. I'm warmed up.
They don't call him Talking Machine just to call
The
him
Talking Machine, Al Levine. We're going to be
Yeah.
back with him. You're watching the Neil Haley Show. We'll be back in just a moment.
I brought out a show on the radio about 5 or 6 years ago to try to share a lot of the information that I run across on a weekly basis with clients, and to share those experiences and the knowledge gained from other people's either mistakes or the correct decisions they've made and their successes, and to try to share that with the community so more people could benefit. So we came over and met Dave, and it was real easy. He said, there you go, are you ready? We're very lucky to have this and the resources over here, where it would be quite expensive to try to produce a show like this elsewhere. Bethel Park TV is offering it to all of us. I hope this grows a lot, and I hope a lot more people do take advantage of this. You're missing out on a marvelous opportunity if you don't. It's really a free gift for you to be able to share yourself and your experiences and what your value is with others at low to no risk. Anyone who's considering doing a show, come on out of your shell. Come on over here. Dave's very gentle, very nice. He'll help guide you through this. If you make mistakes, He'll edit it out and record it over, so don't worry about saying something wrong. Just come over and share what you have with others. Just be yourself, come over here and let other people see who you are, why you're here, and who you're trying to help and what you're trying to say. It is that easy.
Back to the Neil Haley Show. I'm with Coach and Al, and I guess he keeps talking, but I'm going to just throw into this.
Yeah.
You have figured out this brand, as you're talking about, which is the Pittsburgh Sports Line.
Yeah, right
And
here.
then you're
And
the
my
talking
machine point.
You're the talking. You're the talking machine.
How'd I do, Coach?
And so listen, but the thing I see from what you're able to do is that people in Pittsburgh, the reason why this works so well is people want a sports talk show just about Pittsburgh sports, local,
Yeah.
but also, talking about everything in Pittsburgh sports.
I have a nice niche, as they call it.
Yes, you do, because how many
Yeah.
people want to talk about the Steelers 50 weeks a year for at least a little bit?
Well, they even ask me, just to interrupt you since you're on a roll and we're going to a break.
We already went to the break.
Right.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, they ask me, well, what do you talk about? Steelers, Penguins, Pirates? I go, yeah, we do that. But I go, I interview kids from 5 years old, teams. I had Taylor Alderdice the day they got declared last year the #1 team in the state.
great.
Okay.
It just worked out that way. Here, the coach, Buddy, knew my dad and even told a story when I interviewed him
Right.
on the show about my dad.
That's great.
He had great respect for my dad and did well with his team. They had some great players and, just worked out. But I just talk to people and ask them if they'll be a guest. Some go, I don't even have anything to talk about. I go, did you play sports? Yeah, I played sports. You go to high school and play sports? Yeah. College? Yeah. I go,
You're a guest then.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I go, I just interviewed you. They're like, what? I go, those are easy questions. I go, the hardest question I ask you is your name. Because some people on TV get very nervous.
Yeah.
And they go, what do you mean? I go, just tell us your name. Everything I ask you is something that you know.
So you've
Because
been
that's how simple I keep
you've
it.
been doing this for
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
So in
And
5
I'm new
years,
to TV.
yeah.
I didn't know. One
And-
time I was on TV, like I told you.
Right.
This medium has changed. So when you look at your shows 5 years ago till today,
Mine-
where are you going? Where
Mine
do you
are
see it?
consistent.
Okay.
Mine are pretty consistent. Dave has some different graphics and software that he's made, different segments. And I try to do segments. My one co-host, Chip, talks too much, but I let him roll.
Right.
He's a baseball guy and trivia guy. We even have a trivia time because I love trivia.
Yeah,
And he
okay.
goes, it's worthless information. I go, my man, you're so far wrong.
Yeah.
We like trivia. So
Yes.
I created a trivia time. Smoking Jim, I got fiction and fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac.
See, that's the
But that's how I've grown it
Right.
Yeah.
in the certain areas. And, where I started out, I didn't know.
Being in a live studio, meaning where a bar or wherever you're
Well,
filming.
we film it like it's a live show.
Where are you filming?
We're
now?
at Atria's PNC Park twice a month, Hollywood Lanes in Dormont once a month, and I just got a new gig at the local bar here in Bethel, Fairway Grill, which is on the Cool Springs property. So
And then
Okay.
they like seeing cameras. They like seeing the whole process.
The whole enchiladas.
So
Yeah.
who is your producer? Do you get volunteers to come to get trained in how to do the filming or all that stuff? Or
well,
you-
they're here already. Devin Shea is one of the guys that's one of the best volunteers, and he shows up almost all the time. Yeah, Erin Ward used to, and she got sick, and the way she works at Pitt, she can't make it, and other volunteers. But yeah, Devin Shea is our usual
is
man.
it how long's the show? Every
1 hour.
1 hour. So
Yeah.
it's 1 hour. So
That's my That's my niche.
yes, you go out 1 hour to a different bar. How long's that set up in the process of setting up a PNC?
I get there an hour early.
An hour early. Okay.
Yeah, and make sure we get it right and try to make the lighting and make adjustments and
So
whatever.
you move it around. So does that mean you
and
get
I've been at
different
many
type
different
people?
places.
Yes, it does. It seems like a
Yeah.
really interesting
People
thing.
think we're everywhere.
So what's
Yeah.
the location do for? I mean, you can call and get guests. So the locale, is that for the locals to come on out?
Here's
What
what
is
I
that?
do. It's people that have interest because
Yeah.
I do marketing. I do Facebook event pages.
Okay.
So if you get me for a fee that we get charged, I'm actually marketing your place.
Yep.
and putting it on Facebook where people go, wow, yeah, we got the word out about our place. And that's why the Fairway Grill,
Okay.
the owner has that Che Anthony's banquet facility up there. And he's running the restaurant now, and he goes, that's like a hand in a glove. A sports bar with you doing a sports show
Right.
weekly. So we do it once a month there. And we just had a show this past Monday there. So
Okay.
we mix it up. And we'll
Yeah.
be at Atria's this Monday coming up with guests and from all walks of life. We do a lot with MMA,
Yeah.
boxing, mix it up because I wanted to present MMA guys and girls that are actually good people.
Right.
And all the violence, boxing has been violent forever.
Right.
And fixed. And,
So what kind of
whenever
MMA guys are you getting?
all the local stars from the local gyms, Pinnacle, and different places, definitely. And the gyms love us. They go, you're the only guy doing this and putting us on there. Now Trib Live started in the past year that they put some of the Gladiators of the Cage. They
Okay.
do a show with them each week. So they mix it up. So I'd rather be an innovator and maintain my niche.
Yeah.
Right.
And they want me to have like stars on. I go, I don't really care. If I meet a superstar, I respect what they do. They do it better than anybody else. Like you're a superstar. We're glad we had you on and we found about you locally, and what you do.
So that they come out,
Yeah.
people come to you saying they want a star to come to the studio? Or,
Oh, yeah, I've had people say they'll get me. So this is
Okay.
a funny story. I'll share it with you. So Sid Bream, there's all this negativity about him
Yeah.
and, Barry Bonds and
Yeah.
such like that. I had 10 people tell me they could get Sid Bream
Okay.
since we've done the show because I just thought he'd be great to
Yeah.
be on
Yeah.
because I heard he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Just a great guy. Well, here I meet this guy because I helped Jessica Lee with her jazz and blues shows. I do event pages for her.
Okay.
So this guy comes up to me and goes, yeah, I heard you do a sports show. I go, yeah. He goes, would you like Sid Bream? I go, because I'm sarcastic. I go, I've had 10 guys. You're like everybody else. They promised me they can get Sid here.
Yeah.
I said, if you do, that'd be great. He goes, I'm personal friends with him. I just saw him the other day. I said, well, tell him to give me a call. Here's my card. I hand out my cards. Yeah, I'm remiss. Forgot to give you.
Okay, thank you.
Wow.
And Sid Bream calls me up. So he goes, hello, I'm looking for Al Levine. This is Sid Bream. I go, Sid, who recommended me? And he told me this Michael did. I said, he's the best. I've tried to get you for a dozen times. And I go, would you want to do a show? I'm an easy interviewer, soft questions. I don't care if you scored that winning run. It broke my heart, but I'm trying to recover from it. He goes, yeah, I'd love to do it. When is it? What's the format? I explained
Yeah.
it. He goes, I'll come out and do it. He was great. We were doing it at Duke's in Mount Lebanon, Duke's Rib House and Grill there. So we had a bunch
So
of shows
he's in
there.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I forget where he lives, out in the North Hills somewhere.
Okay.
Very Christian guy, well liked, just a great interview. And he kidded around. We were doing little punches like he's punching.
How many
us.
guests do you get a week each
Well,
time?
I've had from 3 to like 22.
Yeah, because
In
you had the
one
team.
hour.
I bring teams on.
Oh, yeah.
I do like speed interviews.
Okay.
Because I'll have players there and I'll
Yeah.
go, what's your name? When did you start playing? Next one, and then somebody
So
will
when,
grab
when
the
you
mic.
have a team, are you moving around or you just?
I sit here like this, hand the
And the
mic.
mic,
I have them
okay.
around us in like a
Yeah.
half circle. They'll have their coaches. And,
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
and I put this together as we go, because it's a fluid situation. Look what you do. You got your setup. Look at how you got to be quick-witted and things.
Yeah.
Well, at 60, I'm still pretty
Yeah,
quick-witted.
yes.
So, and I handle it. Smoking Jim's amazed. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, great interview, great. I go, quit pumping me up.
So who's been one of your more tougher, harder people to interview to get them to open up and give you some
The
info?
models he was bringing on the shows, I had to stop the models coming on and ring card girls. I'd ask them their name and they'd give me a first name. I go, do you have a last name? And then they'd fumble that. And Dave said, you got to quit bringing these women on the show. So I told Smoking Jim, we got to shut down. I need more of the athletes.
Okay.
Because Smoking Jim knows thousands of people.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
He's just prolific with what he's done out there. His body of work and being a writer for the New Pittsburgh Courier.
Yeah.
Like he wouldn't say the name where he worked. And I go, he works at the New Pittsburgh Courier, biggest black newspaper in the country.
Yeah.
Legendary in
Legendary.
Pittsburgh.
Yes, it is.
So just things like that. I'm about promoting, putting the good things out, the good
Right.
word. Like your coach at CCAC still?
Former.
Oh, you're
I've
done.
moved on to bigger things.
I knew he lifted you up.
The-
You're taller than I thought.
you know, but I've had the opportunity. The whole basketball still stays with me. I'm doing.
Well, it
we can
can't
talk-
leave
we-
you.
we
You're
can-
legendary,
we can
Coach.
talk about that off the air. You're the top.
Whoa.
We're gonna let you be the machine today.
So I guess the thing that
Yeah.
where you're moving forward is how far in advance do you plan your guests?
Oh, it could be 3 months. It could be 1 week.
So you'll schedule someone for 3 months, put it in the calendar, and then say, okay. See, the difference I think that between you and I is that you every week an hour you could have 3, 4 guests,
10.
10.
Yeah.
But I produce
team.
5 hours of radio every week.
That's
Yes.
why you're my hero.
No. But,
I'm glad I met the legend, Neil Haley.
but then,
I can't stop
but
the
my
compliments.
television show, by the way, we're shooting 5 shows today. Yeah, so we're shooting
Yeah.
5 shows today.
4 more.
We have another celebrity show. I don't know if you saw that, where it's more of the slideshow where we're bringing in the different celebrities. But the thing is, and I hear this, is that 1 hour, it's still so much planning. People don't last in this business. When I started in radio, I hate the word podcast. That's another thing that I
Oh,
can't
they
stand.
tell me that all the time.
podcast.
They go, "You need a podcast."
No.
I go, "I'm on TV
Right.
Yes, exactly.
every
Right.
week. I have
You don't need-
time
Yeah.
slots." I go, "I got 5 each
right.
week, sometimes 7 a
Who
week."
cares about podcasts?
Yeah, I go, "I'm
So
out
I
there."
mean, I'm about to go into the venturing in the podcast end of the business. But
It's a necessary
but
thing with
Yeah.
social
media.
media.
and everything that I do. But I don't.
can tie it in.
I consider us far greater than
Yeah,
a
it's
podcaster
live.
because think about it. We're on TV every week. I'm on radio locally in Pittsburgh every week. These other people, they create a podcast. They say, "I got a show." And then yet they don't do the planning that
Right.
you and I do. They don't have the professionalism that
No.
you and I have. And that's
Thank
what,
you.
That's
Thanks
what,
for putting
that's-
me with you, 6'9"er.
and that's it. So where can we find best information on you? Where can we go? It's already time's almost up. Where can we find info?
Facebook.com. I don't even have a website because I get between 6,000 and 20,000 hits a day
On your fan
on
page?
my Facebook page.
On
fan
your
Really?
page.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how
you
simple
are
it is.
out there.
And
Exactly.
we take photos. Like after this, we'll have
Yeah.
Dave take a photo of us so I can put it
Okay.
out there.
Fantastic.
And and I tag people. You know,
Yeah.
I learned it. I've been on Facebook 4 years now.
So
and
are you using a fan page or just your personal page?
just the fan page. I have 4,441 friends
Yeah.
on my Facebook page. I'm not trying to get up to 5,000.
Oh, so
Yeah.
that's your page.
No, I
then
got
if-
6,400
likes
likes
on your-
on
your-
my
Yeah,
fan
yeah,
page.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
or business page, whatever they
yeah.
want to call
Yeah,
it.
gotcha.
That's great.
They mix that all up.
All right,
so.
well, good talking to you.
Yeah.
Good talk, Coach.
Al?
You'll have more time in the next
Th-
interview.
this
But
is-
good talking
no,
to
this
Al
is
Levine,
it.
the sportsmanship.
That's why we bring them in.
Okay, guys, go and
Nice
check
work.
me out at Twitter, at Total Tutor, Neil S. Haley, Facebook, neilhaley.com. Take care, guys, and we'll see you next week.